With Release 32 of the Automation Success Platform, we are introducing a new capability in the Process Composer to perform local execution of bot tasks. In the past, Process Composer executed automations only on remote bot runners, but there were issues with data compliance and time sensitivity. The data had to be accessible to the remote bot runner, and automations were queued and not necessarily kicked off right away. But with the ability to execute bot tasks locally on the desktop, the Automation Copilot user has more control over data compliance so that sensitive data used during the automation remains local to the desktop and does not have to go to a remote machine. Leveraging local execution on the desktop has other advantages. For instance, response times are faster since automations are kicked off right away without queue or wait times. This is critical in situations where time sensitivity is important, such as in call centers or customer service use cases. The local automation can also be executed in a child window so that there is no disruption of the user's desktop. Finally, because all user interactions happen inside Automation Copilot and all the orchestration is handled by Process Composer, the entire end-to-end process can be embedded in your web application of choice. Let's see how this new capability can be leveraged in Automation Copilot through a demo. We will show how Scott, a partner manager in a company, can recognize his top partners using his Automation Copilot, and also how Marcus, a professional developer, can configure bot tasks to execute locally in Process Composer. Let's begin by looking at Scott's desktop as he starts his day. Scott accesses his Automation Copilot through the dedicated desktop application. He launches the process to award his top partners, and he adds the list of partners who recently participated in an event so that he may send them gifts. Scott added a row in the Excel sheet specifying which top partners should be recognized. After selecting the gift options, an automation is instantly launched on his desktop that extracts the information from the spreadsheet. Since the automation is launched locally, the partner details never leave the premises, and the automation securely processes the partner data. Right after the data has been extracted from the Excel spreadsheet, another automation is started to look up the account details in Salesforce. Previously, this would have taken 30 minutes to do. Now it only takes seconds. And because the automation is running locally, there is no need to handle credentials. The automation can securely access Scott's existing session to interact with the application. Finally, the next automation to be launched happens to be executing in a child window. As Scott minimizes this window, it allows the automation and Scott to work in parallel on the same desktop without disrupting each other. More efficiency and more time back for Scott to work on higher value tasks. Speaking of which, Scott needs to update a sensitive account in Salesforce, and because Automation Copilot is also embedded into his application, he can follow the progress of the automation, creating orders in a Shopify swag store while working on the Salesforce account. We can note here that not only are automations executed locally, but Scott never loses track of what's happening on its specific request. Thanks to Automation Copilot, he can trace all the steps that occurred in the process and be notified in real time of the completion of the work. Now let's switch to Marcus as he configures the top partner award process in the Automation Success Platform. As Marcus navigates through the Automations folder, he checks out the top partner award gift process that Scott was using. Marcus opens the process in Process Composer, a no-code process modeling interface, and selects the Salesforce account lookup bot task. There, he can easily switch the execution mode to a local execution, either in the main window or in a child window. Marcus then checks in the process. Now Scott can use it right away and leverage the power of desktop automations through Automation Copilot. As a result of this new enhancement to Process Composer, Automation Copilot users have more flexibility over where they can run their automations. The ability to run their automations on the desktop leads to higher data compliance, greater time sensitivity, and greater productivity for Automation Copilot users.